Welcome, everyone. I'm happy to have you here today. I'm going to be talking about traveling with thieves because I just came back from a vacation and I just thought it'd be a great time to share with you some tricks you can use when traveling. So I'm going to focus on just one oil. And even though there's so many oils that I love to take with me, we'll just talk about Thieves and the Thieves products today. And vacation can take a lot out of you. Transportation worries, unfamiliar sleeping arrangements, strange foods, just being away from home can even make the most seasoned traveler feel a little uncomfortable. So here are some thoughts to help make that travel experience a little better. First, our medical disclaimer. The information presented here is for informational and personal uses only and should not be assumed or taken as medical advice. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration and are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. So, the Thieves products are not just for leaving at home to use for cleaning. I found some of them are really great for bringing with you when you travel, whether you go by plane or car or train or boat. Thieves is a must-have oil for traveling, and I really would never travel without it. So you'll see on this slide, we have Thieves killing it since the 15th century. Let me tell you a little bit about Thieves oil first. So Thieves was created based on legends about a group of 15th century thieves who rubbed oils on themselves to avoid contracting the plague while they robbed the bodies of the dead and the dying. So when they were apprehended, the thieves, they were forced to tell what their secret was and disclose the formula of the herbs and the spices and oils that they used to protect themselves, and that was in exchange for more lenient punishment. So studies conducted at Weber State University in 1997 demonstrated that the killing power of thieves and the amazing oils in it against airborne microorganisms. So this blend consists of, it has 5 different oils in it: clove, lemon, cinnamon bark, eucalyptus radiata, and rosemary. Now these are all hot oils and they're very powerful. So now I want to share with you some tips. So you'll see a funny looking slide with a whole group of nasal inhalers. So it's one of my favorite items to take with me. So I can put that in my pocket or carry on my carry-on bag. And I usually carry 2. What I did this time, I have one that has Thieves essential oil and RC, which is a respiratory, good oil for respiratory issues. And then one with lavender, lemon, and peppermint. So what I find so wonderful is that I can be on a plane or on a train or a boat, anywhere, and I don't bother anyone else. I can inhale the oils, help to keep myself safe and illness-free, and I don't bother anyone else around me. They won't smell it. So it's just a great little tool if anyone would like to try that. So Thieves Spray. Now, spray is a product that Young Living makes, and it has thieves in it, and it's something I've been using for years. I used to travel for work, and so one of the things is you can spray down the beds if you go into a hotel room, and I always did that. I would take out my spray, go over the comforter and all around the room, and sometimes there may be bed bugs. I hate to think about that, or any other kind of little things that may cause bites. I always think it's a great idea to spray down the bed and the bedding. You can also do it to spray in the air conditioning vent and the heater vents, the carpets. The hotel rooms, they get clean, but not necessarily as clean as you might like. And they turn over fast. There may be germs hanging around or smells. Use the Thieves Spray. The room will smell wonderful and will get rid of any other little germs that are around. You can also spray yourself. I know it sounds a little funny, but sometimes you're on a long flight, you've been in the same clothes for 24 hours, and you just want to freshen up a little. So you could just spray your clothes and your body with a little bit of the the Thieves spray, and you'll just feel better and smell better. I also like to suggest, if you're going out into open spaces, you're going to be picnicking, or you're out in, nature, spray yourself as well, because you may not have your bug spray with you, and the ingredients in Thieves will also help to keep some of those bugs away. So it's a nice idea. It's a great little bottle that can do so many different things. Also, if for some reason you do get bitten, you may not have an oil like lavender with you, or what else would I put on? You could do peppermint or purification. So I would take the Thief spray and spray that spot. It'll temporarily help it. You'll just have to keep spraying. But it's a great thing to have with you on a trip. The next thing I recommend is the Thieves waterless hand sanitizer. Now, they come in these tiny, 1 ounce little bottles, and just great to have in your pocket, in your purse. Keep it in the car. You can take it on the plane with you, and it's perfect. Your hands get dirty. You can clean up. You don't have water available. It's a great way to do that. If you you need to clean your hands occasionally. You're touching things all the time. When I went to school in New York City, I always had it in my pocket. And every time I would take the escalators up and down, and there were thousands of people that were in the classes with me, I always used the sanitizer after being around all those people and touching things. So just great idea to have with you. Now, this one may sound funny, but here's the vegetable spray. Now, they have a small little bottle of vegetable spray. I usually make my own vegetable spray to clean off vegetables and fruits and such. You can buy it, you can make your own. But if you're going to a foreign country, or even if you're here, and let's say you want to eat fruit and you're a little concerned about eating it and you don't have any water to wash it, you can spray it with the Thieves vegetable spray, and then you can just eat the fruit. It's not going to hurt you. The Thieves that are in there, the Thieves and lemon, will not hurt you. So it's a great thing to have with you. You could also, let's say you're concerned about the utensils or the plates that are being served to you, you can spray that and you can just eat with those utensils. Another way to try to keep yourself well while you're traveling, and an easy way. I put here the toothpaste because I always travel with my Thieves toothpaste. And that's a good one to have with you, as well as I like having also the Thieves mouthwash. Just a small sample of it, and you can gargle if you start feeling like you're getting sick. It's a great thing to have with you. And then, excuse me, last but not least, just Thieves essential oil. Always like to have that. I believe you need to, rub it on the bottom of your feet before you leave for your trip, and do it periodically as often as you can. You can gargle it if you don't have the mouthwash with you. You can put a drop in some water and just gargle the Thieves directly. You can breathe it during your trip, put some in your hands, cup it over your nose, and take deep inhalations. And if you needed to, if you felt like you were getting sick, I would put a couple drops, if I had veggie caps, into a veggie cap and ingest it. What I always do is there's a product called Inner Defense. I take those before, during, and after my trip. So I make sure I have enough of those. I pack them to take with me. And I really try to make sure, because when you're on a plane or you're in a confined area, people are coughing and sneezing around you. You want to do everything you can so when you get home, you don't get sick. So let's say you're taking a plane. We know all the rules. TSA has all these rules that any liquids have to be, in can't be more than 3 ounces. They have to be in a quart-sized clear plastic Ziploc bag, and you can only have one of them. That's their 3-1-1 rule. So what you can do is this. You want to take your oils with you. You can place them in that plastic bag. Those are liquids. They're all less than the maximum of the 3 ounces, and you can easily do that. I sometimes like to live dangerously, and I just put my oils in another carrying bag that's closed, but I carry it on with me. And I've never, ever been stopped. No one has ever questioned the oils that I've carried. But if you get nervous, you can always put them in the clear plastic bag. So now you may ask about, checked luggage. What do you do when that happens? So you can pack them certainly in your luggage. You'll want to make sure that they're really in a sealed bag. And I used to even put some absorbent paper inside of that because you don't want it to leak. And you also don't want, things to smell. They may question your bag and maybe want to open it. And then once it's in that bag, I put it into a softer bag that gives some padding to protect it. So in case we don't want anything to break while you're traveling. So this was something that I hadn't had before, but I bought it last year before I took a trip to Bali. And it's a Bon Voyage travel pack that Young Living makes. And it comes in a pretty little burgundy bag. And everything in it is TSA compliant. And you can take all your products with you. And now what I do when I travel, I just refill these little bottles again. So it has a toothpaste in there. It has a toothbrush, the waterless hand purifier we talked about. It has the mouthwash. It has shampoo, conditioner, a lip balm, a body lotion, a bath and shower gel, and a moisturizer. So I keep that. It's ready to go whenever I decide to go on a trip. So it's really great. And here's some of my information. So I was hoping that maybe we could have a little conversation if anyone has any questions or if anyone has a takeaway they'd like to share. What I'm going to do is stop sharing my screen so you can see me again. I will come up, start my video. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Vicki.
Hi, Irma. How are you?
I had a thought because I drink a lot of water and use a lot of different bathrooms. And
Okay.
I'm coming from my trip from Philadelphia today, and I needed to stop, and the only place that was available was a porta potty.
Okay.
And I walked in there, and I wanted to spray the whole thing with Thieves. But when I got into the car, I did have the waterless wash. And I was very happy about that because it was 1, 2, 3, and take care of it. Also, when I got into Philadelphia, I did that waterless wash right before I sat down to have my meal, which also felt really nice and clean. So I love that particular product. I also love the mouthwash.
Mm-hmm.
It feels a deep cleaning and almost an antiseptic.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
That's what it does.
So not only gargling, but swishing it around in my teeth, especially. And that's a great little something to do if you're out eating and you just want to rinse out your mouth, because that little bottle is so small that it can easily go into your purse.
Yeah.
I like that little travel kit.
Yeah, no, the travel kit is great. So I recommend it. It's not too expensive. I mean, if you went out and bought all these different things and tried to create your own, it would probably cost about the same thing. And here it's all self-contained. I just keep it in my cabinet and pull it out when I'm ready to go.
Then you're ready to go. And then the Thieves spray that you use for the vegetables or the fruit, I'd never even thought about that. So in other words, let's say I go to Whole Foods and I buy an apple that I want to eat. I could just spray it on there.
Spray it on there. You could wipe it off or just, let it dry. But it's, the only thing is you may taste it a little bit, but it's better than not having a clean piece of fruit, not taking your chances. But I would just spray it, wipe it off. Should be good to go. You don't have to rinse it.
Yeah, and I never thought about using it on utensils and things like that. And I don't want to get too crazy because then all of a sudden.
No, I agree. But sometimes if you're traveling, if you're in a country where it's known that you could get GI distress and issues, you want to be as careful as you can.
Right. So recently I was flying and I saw this woman who was not touching anything. So she had her napkin and she pulled over her tray and then she wiped it down with something. I'm not sure what it was. And, washed her hands and she was taking care of herself.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think the object is to take care of yourself and find ways that work for you.
Yeah. I also love the toothpaste.
Me too. And I like, because in the travel thing, it gives you a small one,
Right.
which is really nice, a nice thing to do.
Yeah. That's a perfect little travel case. But so yeah, thank you for those tips. I didn't even consider about the thing with the fruit or
Mhm.
washing some plates, because also in an air when you're flying, even though that woman was wiping it, I don't know what she was wiping it down with. Somebody had said to me that they were a little concerned with Thieves being too strong of a flavor, of a fragrance, that it, impacts everybody around you. So what would you do in a case of that if you wanted to wipe down that little
The,
tray?
the tray that comes down, yeah, you're hoping it's clean. I'd probably just put a little bit on like a tissue
Hmm.
and wipe it down.
Versus spraying it that everyone's smelling it
So,
all.
yeah, I would maybe spray the tissue so it doesn't disperse in the air, so you don't have the particles. And that's why I like using the nasal inhalers for myself, as opposed to pulling out the oil in the middle of, a confined area.
Right. Do you use the nasal spray inhalers right at your seat, or do you go to the bathroom?
I used it in my seat this last time. I said, oh, I'm just going to do it here.
And then
But
you
if I were going to spray something down, if I
uh-huh.
wanted to spray like myself, or I wanted to use an oil on myself, I would go to the bathroom and do that. Because they have vents that are circulating, and hopefully it'll clear that out.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You do have to be careful though, not to over scent an area, because someone could complain, or, they could come and say, you can't do that, or question what you're doing.
Yes.
What's in that you're using. So always proceed with caution,
Yeah, and I was just wondering about that spray, whether or not it could be cut with anything.
which the thief spray,
Mm-hmm.
you could cut it with some water,
Mm-hmm.
and it would still work fine. I happen to really like the smell, so it's hard for me. I really think it smells wonderful.
Right, but it is a
But
particular
it does smell like a dentist's office very often, so it could create some dental anxiety.
kind.
So you never know.
Oh my God, I'm putting my teeth down.
In my teeth, then. Yeah.
Well, thank you for your
My pleasure. So I appreciate you being here tonight,
thank
and this is being recorded, so I will have that available. And there'll be another call in 2 weeks, which is June 14th, Thursday, from 7 to 7:30. So I hope people can join us. There'll be another interesting conversation. Okay. Thank you all. Bye-bye.